everyone, it's Kylie again. Tonight I'm going to show you a dinner that I'm prepping. Some nights you just don't feel like meat, you feel like a night off meat. So this is a pasta dish that's very easy to make, that doesn't contain any protein. You can serve it with protein if you like, but I'm just going to serve this as a pasta dish. All you need is a good size baking dish. You're going to need, so that's a 260 gram bag of spinach, but I've used a little bit out of that. So about 200 grams of spinach. Get yourself a couple of tubs of tomatoes. I'm using the Sweet Delights. Now the quality of your tomatoes will matter in this. You want nice sweet tomatoes. I've got a couple of tubs of mushrooms. So that's about 400 grams of mushrooms. Garlic, we're going to use about 4 cloves of garlic. And we're just going to use some olive oil, salt and pepper. Now the key to this dish, which makes it a little bit different, and you've probably seen these on your reels, this is just my version. So I've got a spring onion and chive cheese there. I'm sure you've seen those in the supermarkets. And I've got a cracked pepper one. Okay, so I'm just going to chop up my mushrooms and tomatoes and crush my garlic, and I'll be back to show you what I do with it. Won't be sec. Okay, so I've cut up my mushrooms. The tomatoes are a nice small size, so I'm actually going to leave them whole. So the idea is you're going to put everything in this container, you're going to bake it down, all the flavours are going to mix in together, we're going to mash it and serve it with our pasta. So it's super easy. Put it in, forget it in the oven. So speaking of oven, I've got 170 fan forced. If you haven't got a fan forced oven, preheat it to about 190. All right, so I'm going to throw the spinach leaves in the bottom. So that's probably plenty. So as I said, that's a 260 gram bag. So I'm probably using maybe 150 grams of spinach, okay? Make about 150 grams of spinach because that's plenty. Okay, now on top of that, I'm going to just throw my mushrooms on top of there. Now it's going to be fairly full at the end, but everything breaks down. So don't be worried that it's going to overflow or anything like that. It actually breaks down and gets smaller as it cooks. So throw our mushrooms on there. There we go. I'm going to put our garlic in next. Now, as I said, 4 cloves of garlic, 4 decent sized cloves. I love garlic, so realistically I've probably got almost 5 cloves of garlic here, but 4 cloves for a person who doesn't do a lot of garlic is probably plenty. I just love garlic, so I use a lot of garlic. So just crush it. If you haven't got, or you don't use fresh garlic, that's fine. You can use garlic out of a jar. Look, I think fresh garlic makes a massive difference to flavour. I've never tried it with minced garlic, but I'm assuming minced garlic will be fine. So maybe 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, if you're using the minced out of a jar instead of fresh, will be fine. Now, as I said, I've washed and drained my tomatoes. They're fairly small, so I'm actually going to just leave them whole and put the tomatoes over the top, just like that. Squish it down a little bit. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to put on some salt, pepper and some olive oil just to add some seasoning there. So tea towels all done. So pepper. Good amount of cracked pepper. Salt. Good quality. This is Tasman sea salt. You want good quality salt, makes a difference as well. So nicely salted as well. And I'm going to drizzle over some olive oil. Australian olive oil, of course, if you can get it. Makes a difference. Olive oil. And, as I said, your 2 cheeses. This is the cracked pepper. Okay, you'll see them in your supermarket. It's like a cream cheese. So this is a cream cheese with cracked pepper around the outside of it. So I'm going to put that up that end. And then I've got this other cream cheese, spring onion and chive, which I'm putting up the opposite end. So basically this is going to provide a bit of extra flavour through the seasonings of the cheese as well. I know it looks really weird, trust me, it works. It does. It's going to be really nice. Okay, so basically, before you put it into the oven, that's what it looks like. So you've laid your spinach, you've got your mushrooms, you've got your tomatoes, you've got your olive oil, salt and pepper, and we've got the 2 cheeses on top. I'm going to put that in the oven. I'm going to check on it in about 30 minutes. While that's cooking, I'm just going to boil up some water and I'm going to get some pasta ready. Okay, so I'll come back when this is ready. Okay, so it's out of the oven. That was about 35 minutes. Now what you're looking for, you can see some of those tomatoes are starting to split their skin and char a little bit, and you can see everything starting to break down. That's what you're looking for. So that was about 35 minutes at 170 degrees Celsius. Now what we're going to do now, it's as simple as we're going to mash all this together. Now I just use a potato masher. You can use whatever you like, but I find a potato masher very convenient. Just watch the little cherry tomatoes because they tend to spit at you in the hole. So just be careful that you don't get burnt. Be very careful. All right, mash away. Okay, I'm pretty happy that all the tomatoes are mashed. The cheese is all mashed up. So the potato mash is going away. I'm just going to get a spoon now and to give everything a good mix through. Smells amazing. The garlic smells amazing. You've got your baked tomatoes in there that are broken down. You've got all your spinach. You've got the cheese. You've got your mushrooms. It's really easy, but it's just so yummy. Okay, so we've mixed that up now. Mixed everything through. Okay, so I'll show you what it looks like. Little taste test. Hot, hot. Yum, yum. Right. So now that we've mixed it all through, you can see you've literally got like a sauce. See that? Now, as I said, I'm adding pasta to that, my cooked pasta. Realistically, if you wanted to have protein with it, there's nothing stopping you from using that as a sauce to have your chicken or something like that. But I'm having pasta with ours. That's what we usually have with ours. So I've got my cooked pasta here. That's ready to go. I'm just going to bring it over with my tongs. And I'm going to put my pasta in there. Just mixing it a bit as you go. Mix that through. You just keep adding your pasta until it looks about what you want. So I've got I had a packet of dried fettuccine pasta. So I've used probably half a packet of fettuccine pasta. You can literally put whatever pasta in it you liked, actually. It wouldn't really matter. Yeah, whatever you like. And you could probably even use gnocchi or something like that if you want to. It's totally up to you. I'm going to try to incorporate all that pasta in there because I want leftovers to take for meals for work. There we go. There we go. It's pretty much done. Mix that in there. You want to incorporate that right through. And that's pretty much it. I think we're pretty much done. That's it. That's ready to plate up. And it smells divine, and I know it tastes divine because I've had it many times before. So that's it. That's your sauce done in the oven, your baked sauce with your spaghetti. I'm getting it everywhere, but that's how easy it is, and honestly, it's delicious. It is so yummy. And realistically, that was on the table within half an hour. While my tomatoes were breaking down, my pasta was cooking, we've added it in, we're good to go. So that's it. What do we call it? We'll call it a oven baked pasta dish. I don't know, Kylie's pasta. Whatever you want to call it, it's delicious. See you next time.